really get their season off to a flying start, but I can tell you now, Lincoln won't be coming here and making it easy for them. They'll be hoping to start life in the Championship. 65 years since they were here. They'll be hoping that they can start off with a bang and start as you mean to go on, as you say.
That issue of taking chances, well, we'll see soon, won't we, if Middlesbrough rectified that with the signing of Will Lancashire, who got off and running in the Carabao Cup.
Yeah, he did. He's a fantastic signing. He's been tasked with putting right what went wrong for Middlesbrough at the end of the season. Created lots of opportunities, but really struggled to score. He has been brought in, and they'll be hoping that he can add the gloss that takes them back into the Premier League.
Lincoln City and their new dual management team have been busy in the market too. Many of their new faces will be on show on the bench and hoping for a chance. Tom Shaw and Chris Cohen have recognised a few things here where they can hurt Middlesbrough, a side who they admitted will be able to hurt them too. Bobby Madley is the man in the middle. Let us take a check on the lineups. 3 changes from the win over Wrexham in the Carabao Cup opener. Starting at the back, Radek Vitek makes his debut in goal following a £7 million move from Manchester United. Sol Bryn can consider himself unlucky to drop out. Ahead of him, new signing Max Arston drops out from left-back. Neto Borges moves across. It looks like Adilson Malanda will move to centre-half from midfield where he played last week. Abdoulaye Kante gets a chance straight back into the league side after returning from loan at Saint-Etienne. And Carl Joseph makes a league debut for Borough after coming on as a sub last weekend. He's in ahead of Jeremy Sarmiento. One change for Lincoln from their opening cup win over Derby. It comes in the shape of Riley Towler, an extra defender for the Championship newcomers. That means striker Rob Street has to start on the bench, but he'll be chomping at the bit to come on. Skipper Tendai Darikwa has plenty of experience at this level, but for many of the others, it is a step into the unknown, although they showed against Derby that they won't be easy. Ben House and Dom Jeffries getting the goals in that victory. A familiar lineup for the Imps fans. All the new faces on the bench: Mason Melia, Tanto Olofe, Callum Elder, Andre Kubis and keeper Joe Gauci. So, a big day for that man who wants to prove in the league that he can do what he did in the Cup.
Now he's coming for a big price tag. 10 million rising to 20 million from Spurs, but as I say, he's been tasked with scoring the goals that fires Middlesbrough into the Premier League, takes them. That one step further, something they were missing at the end of last season.
Vitek too, a big chance for him. And on the other side, well, a man who has proved he can do it in various divisions.
Yeah, well, Ben Howes has had a fantastic season last year. He's already got the season off to a flyer, scoring against Derby in the EFL Cup, and he'll be hoping he can continue that. As you say, he's done it at all the levels. He'll be hoping he can now step up into the Championship and really take it by the scruff of the neck.
The familiar strains of Chris Rea ringing out around the Middlesbrough Riverside, because we've just got a minute or so to go before kick-off. Well, he'll be guarding. And Sol Bryn, if you are him sitting on the bench, you'll be considering himself a little unfortunate, but you don't spend that kind of money on the Manchester United goalkeeper and leave him on the bench, I guess.
Absolutely, and he comes in, he's got huge experience, had a fantastic season with Bristol City last year, and he'll be hoping that he can start the season off well.
Jeffries hoping to provide ammunition from the right-hand side. It could be a 3 with the fullbacks getting forward. We'll have to wait and see as Bobby Madley waits for the signal that we can get this game and the seasons of Middlesbrough and Lincoln City off and underway. Well, back goes the ball, and a little bit of history for Lincoln City, who begin life in England's second tier for the first time since the early 1960s. That was the last time these two met in a competitive game. And Middlesbrough will have to shake off the weariness that they felt back in May. They certainly did enough to overcome Wrexham, having ended their one campaign against them and opened the next one. 150th anniversary to come in a couple of months' time. A brand new kit to start the season with, nodding back to the red of their tradition. Lincoln might not expect to have too much of the ball, but they will expect to be very difficult to break down. They are a club on the up. A club who began last season almost surprising Chelsea in the Cup, and then surprised everybody in League One by going all the way. Can they do so with one of the smallest budgets, probably the smallest budget in the Championship? And can this man, Kante, we didn't mention him before, but it's a big chance for him back from loan, with Aidan Morris still injured, a chance to impress in that defensive midfield role.
Yeah, he'll be looking to get plenty of touches. We did think Malanda might be sitting in that midfield role, but as you said, he's dropped into centre-half, and Kante has been given the opportunity to go and show what he can do. Early in the game, already getting plenty of touches and using the ball really well.
It's nice to pop it out to Castledine on this left-hand side. Here he is again. Looks like much is going to go through him. Malanda does like to bring it out, and he'll step out. Ayling has stepped out and has an early go. Well, why not? Inside 2 minutes, stepping up the skipper, the new skipper.
Yeah, Luke Ayling. Over the years,
haven't even mentioned the fact they're without Hayden Hackney, the real influence in the centre of the park. Kim Helber still looking to do a little bit more business. He was very upbeat before the game, as Malanda gets that one away, talking about how he did manage to relax over the summer after the come-down of, first of all, missing out on the playoff final, then being reinstated and then losing late to Hull City.
It was a real rollercoaster finish to the season, wasn't it, for Middlesbrough? As you say, getting knocked out of the playoffs, then finding themselves back in and then losing to one of my former clubs in Hull City, but they'll be hoping that they can go one better this year. They are up there among the favourites. But it all starts today. A good start, a good performance will go a long way towards it.
They have some defending to do, and they haven't quite been able to do that effectively. House has been bowled over. 3 minutes in, first chance for Lincoln to put a little pressure on.
No, they're not afraid to get the ball in the box. Lincoln, they will be a little bit more direct than a lot of the teams you see at this level. What they are is their game, they're organised, they attack with a purpose. They spread the goals around throughout the squad. And that man House, he'll be hoping to profit from one or two of these situations.
Varfolomayev, the Ukrainian midfielder, is the man over the ball. Two-man wall and a line of white shirts with House at the back post. Draper's in there as well. He starts a little run to the front, leaving the centre-halves in the middle. And it is a Middlesbrough centre-half, Malanda, that gets there, but it squirted off a foot and very nearly went through to Vitek. That is up and over the top from Reach, who does get a nick on the way through it. It's going to be a corner.
Oh, no, it wasn't the best defended set piece from Middlesbrough perspective. You see it comes in there, and it's the second balls. It's all very scrappy in there, and as I said, House was just sniffing.
Halter off the line it was. So, Lincoln City's corner. Adam Reach, left-footed. Again, it's a Middlesbrough head that gets on it first, and thankfully so for Radek Vitek. Now they can break. They're just not struck of where the ball was. They've got to be careful that their defence doesn't go too high. Malanda against Draper. And, well, what do you know? Lincoln attacking with belief, taking the game to Middlesbrough, just like their coaching.
Outside Draper, willing runner, prepared to put himself and his body on the line.
Duo said they would.
No, they're showing them no respect, are they? That's a good ball. Just played down the and has to just clear it out for a corner. Gives Adam Reach another opportunity to put a dangerous ball in.
Not a good start, though, for that man. Conor McGrandles, the Scotsman in the middle of the park. One of many who committed their new future, both immediate and in the next couple of years, to Lincoln City over the course of the summer. 5.5 minutes in, and treatment needed for him on the inside of his left leg, by the looks of it.
That's never what you want to see. First game of the season, the last thing you want to do is pick up an injury. Just hoping that it's more an impact injury than a muscle. Players still getting up to full speed. It will take a few weeks until everybody's firing on all cylinders, but yeah, as I say, you hope that it's just an impact injury, nothing too serious.
Might get another look at how it occurred. This was the counter-attack that they very swiftly played with Draper. Not much, is there? He just goes down immediately, having maybe changed direction or just done a little sprint.
Yeah, that says to me that it's more of a muscle injury than an impact, and it's not a good sign. I doubt that they'd want to take too many risks, especially at this early stage.
Who's a key part of that midfield, the fourth season of his second spell with them, almost 200 appearances. And that does very much indicate that he's not going to be able to play too much longer, if at all. Work to do for Chris Cohen and Tom Shaw, just ahead of this corner, which Rich presumably will trot over to take again. They're down by a man. That's Heller away. Towler. Hamer, all in there. The three biggest defenders. Yeah, it's Britton, Bahalter, Laksha and Kante providing the screen. Let us see. Work going on the touchline while we're watching this. Reach to deliver, and it almost curled inside the far post. Vitek watched it all the way.
Yeah, it's a dangerous ball from Reach. Almost curling into that far top-hand corner. Vitek not prepared to take any risks, and you just see here, just backpedaling and decides to just punch it away and regroup. The last thing you want to do is leave it and see that nestle in the top corner.
This time it is Ivan Farfolomaev, and it's another Middlesbrough header. They have defended them pretty well, apart from that one that eventually did squirt away and was clear. Middlesbrough have got the heads on these balls into the box first, but that one has gone straight out of play. Rather unusually from Cassadine.
You have to credit Lincoln. They've started this game really well.
Yeah, not a frequent fixture this. April 1961. 5-2 the Imps one, 5-2 the Imps one in that one. Cassadine's head away. And has gone a long way back. George Wickens hasn't had too much to... He'll happily keep it that way. Middlesbrough will eventually get their attacking machine going. Bahalter. Not seen much of Whittaker at all so far, or indeed Lancashire, which is credit to Lincoln, the way they've pressed and won the ball back quickly. Again, they've done it. Farfolomaev.
As you say, they are prepared to go and press high up the pitch. Not allow Middlesbrough the time and space to be able to knock it around and get into their rhythm. It's always frantic. The first 10 or 15 minutes of a new season, everybody's got the energy. It's which team can settle the quickest, which team can get into their passing patterns and into their fluency. At the moment, you've got to say, it's been Lincoln.
Elleroy trying to put it away, and now maybe Joseph, the former Hull City man, can get himself away. It's going to be a foul. He's Teed up Lancashire, who's just about resisted the temptation to pop it in.
Yeah, I think it is the right decision. Joseph just a little bit too physical on first view, and have to watch it back here. I'll tell you what, I think he's a little bit lucky. Fender goes down rather easily. Referees always seem to blow when defenders go down, and I can understand why Kim Hellberg's not too happy, because there wasn't an awful lot of contact in there, and Carl Joseph doesn't do a lot wrong there.
Lancashire Beholter all looking to impress on their league debuts. I'd imagine the likes of Miles Pert Harris on the bench too when he gets a chance. Riley McGree and Alfie Jones managed to make themselves fit enough to be included in the matchday squad for the opener. 50-50 on David Strelets, and for Aidan Morris next weekend maybe the chance that they get to come back on the bench.
They have some real strength in depth this season, don't they? They have spent a lot of money, Middlesbrough, but you've got to think, well, it should be money well spent. The firepower that they've got, the quality within this squad. The Championship is relentless. You need to make sure that you're firing on all cylinders.
The combinations down this side haven't quite worked as yet. That's another one that goes awry.
They just haven't got into their passing rhythm at the moment, Middlesbrough. Giving the ball away needlessly, and Lincoln are coming in.
Oh, that's set up brilliantly, and brilliantly finished too. Reach with an absolute screamer. Out of nothing, Dariqua crosses. And an historic moment for Adam Reach, who drills in Lincoln City's first goal in England's second tier for 65 years. They are ahead on Teesside, and a moment they'll never forget.
It's a moment that they won't forget, and it's a moment he won't forget. Former Middlesbrough man, up against his former employers. And you've got to say, it's of Middlesbrough's own making. They give the ball away needlessly. And that ball is a brilliant one. Reach just arriving, left-hand side of the box, and shows that level of composure that you need in those situations. Experienced player now, doesn't try and smash the level off the ball, just guides it across into that far corner. Fantastic finish from Adam Reach.
What a time to do it, and what a place to do it for the former Borough man. And for Lincoln City, who defied expectations last season. Are they going to do it all over again here at one of the Championship favourites?
Oh, that's one way to settle the nerves. Get yourself an early goal. Adam Reach, I played with him many years ago when he was on loan at Bradford from Middlesbrough. He was only a young man then, vastly experienced now. As I say, what a way to open your account for the season against your former team. Emphatic finish, and that will give Lincoln so much belief. They've started this game really well. Middlesbrough, they need to wake up.
Beholter, that's a little bit better. Going through those combinations, the ones that Lincoln have not allowed them to do. Cassadine, oh, there's a little trip on the edge of the box, and it is, by the looks of it, just close enough to the edge of the box. I think he thinks differently.
Cassadine's just saying to the referee there, look, I was just inside the box. The referee gets his spot on. It's close, but I think it's just on the edge.
Defending to do, the man who made the challenge, Tendai Dariqua, has joined the wall with Fafulamayev. Probably Borough's best move so far, has maybe delivered their best attacking platform so far. They did. The first couple of minutes just begin to look like they were going to show their quality, and then Lincoln took over, forced them back, resulting in the goal. Now, he'd be tempted to have a shot from here.
Well, they've got some big boys in there. And we'll be waiting for the delivery.
It is a shot from Cassadine. It's a disappointing one.
And you can't blame him for having the shot, but the quality of it wasn't what he was hoping for, that's for sure. Now Middlesbrough just need to get hold of the ball. They're a team that are used to having plenty of possession. The way that Lincoln have pressed early in this game, though, you've got to say has been exceptional.
Cassadine down this left-hand side again. And the challenge is a good one. Denying their Brazilian fullback the chance to progress forward, but he'll go into the box to provide an aerial threat now.
Yeah, it's a good passage of play. Third man run, Cassadine just plays the ball into the channel and Borges continues his run. Good defending from Lincoln, but another set piece to defend.
It looks like it'll go straight in. Whittaker is the early decoy. It has gone to the far post, and there's a lot of space over there. Set up for Conte, who's never looking likely to score from there. Scooped into the stand behind the goal. A player who has had a good start to the game, but like the rest of the Borough players, he's struggled since Lincoln got their noses in front.
Yeah, well, the corner wasn't the greatest. Britton wasn't able to take it as he would have liked, and then when it comes back to Kante, it's ambitious to say the least. That's not what he's been brought into the team to do, that's for sure.
Picked up by McGrandles, who has seemed to shrug off that early muscle problem. He's running freely. I think we probably have to drag him off the pitch in a game of this magnitude for Lincoln City. Britton has got out of a tight spot.
I've just seen a few examples of a bit of sloppy play from Middlesbrough.
Lancashire looking to thread that one through. Wickens is aware. That's turned into a good ball downfield, actually. Britton has got his hands full early doors. He's not had a comfortable first opening quarter hour either. He's not been allowed to.
Again, great work from Draper. Working that back line, not giving them a moment's peace. Turning a really average ball into a really good ball. And that's what Lincoln are about. They will play balls into uncomfortable areas. They're not just hoof forward, though. They are played with a purpose.
Yeah, 4 wins in the last 15 last season. It was 2 in the last 10. And there are automatic promotion hopes evaporating as a result. That's given away again. And Jeffries keeps it alive. Heavy initial touch for his house. Plays it back. Haraway forward. They've always got that man over on the far side. Was it an offside, though? It was. One thing we mentioned just before coming on air was the continuity Lincoln have got. Yes, Michael Scabala's left for Bristol City, who they'll face in just a couple of weeks' time. But this coaching pair they've got did a lot of the work. They were his assistants. They know each other. They've got such a great relationship. It is a unique thing, a managerial duo, isn't it?
Yeah, it's rare that we see managerial duos, but I must say, I think it's a masterstroke for Lincoln because nothing changes. They did a lot of the coaching last season under Michael Scabala. And it's just a case of stepping up, but more of the same. The players know the message. And you can see by last week's performance and so far this performance, everybody's singing from the same hymn sheet.
Can Middlesbrough disrupt that? Whittaker unable to do so. They have shown a really good discipline, Lincoln, off the ball so far. Probably expected to have less of it than they actually have. Here's Conte. Middlesbrough in Malanda. When he's at the back, do have a player who can distribute it nicely in midfield. Pahalta has looked tidy as a new signing too. There's a little nick on the heels there from Jeffries.
And you can see there, once the ball goes out to Whittaker, he's got one thing on his mind. He wants to cut inside. It's actually House. It's just getting back, doing his defensive duties. Does give the free kick away, but you know how dangerous Whittaker can be when he cuts in from that right-hand side.
Berhalter, who got an assist on his debut against Wrexham, is the man over this one. Not far off the midway point of this first half, which has been an excellent 20 minutes for Lincoln City. Neto Borges, Cassadine at the far post. It's gone central, and it's the first effort on target, but an easy save for George Wickens.
And it's the first real touch for Wickens. Hasn't really had a lot to do. It's a good delivery in. They get first contact, but really comfortable for the goalkeeper.
Off and running again. Pretty early, Derricois. He's well forward, he's kept his feet, he's kept the ball. And he's tried to make sure that Hamer can get there. And then he popped it back to where he thought there was support, there wasn't. Joseph has it. Got two runners. Oh, it's behind Laksha. And too far ahead of Whittaker. And there's a little foul, or a little bit of clever play from Reach to just relieve the pressure.
Yeah, there's a good moment there. You can see Joseph just waiting for the movement. He's only got Lancashire in the box. Tries to pick him out, but he's unable to, and then Whittaker just brings down Reach. Intelligent play from Reach to draw the foul and relieve all the pressure.
Still, it's Lincoln who look a little more joined up. Neto Borges has not given that one enough. Here's Jeffries. Well, that probably was a shot, but it took a flick on the way through. It'll be a Lincoln corner, and every time they come forward, they look like causing Middlesbrough problems.
Oh, again, Borges lapsing concentration, sloppy on the ball. An opportunity to have a sight at goal, and fortunately for Middlesbrough, Melander's in the right place to just deflect it for a corner, but Middlesbrough really need to wake up and sharpen up. Kim Hellberg won't be happy with the start that his team have made.
Imagine if Lincoln can do something from this. It's a high, hanging one from Varfolomaev and a nod back from Hamer, who is still there and hoping to get a platform again. He will. Rich makes a dart up into the box, ignored by the central defender. He winds up to launch one. He winds up to launch one. Cleared before it reaches Varfolomaev, who has not made a foul. And here is Hamer to drive one all the way across. And Arroway coming in on the far post, not quite enough. But you can tell from the home fans' reaction, this is not at all what they came to see.
No, it's not, but it's exactly what the Lincoln support came to see and exactly what they want to see from their team. They're asking questions, they're putting dangerous balls into the box. That one there from Hamer, just waiting for somebody to just come and tap it in. They do get a corner out of it.
Varfolomaev again. Again, it's a deep one, a little too deep this time. He was their record signing this time last year from Slovan Liberec, the Ukrainian. And probably, they said, beat that and then maybe beat it again a couple of times over the course of the window. I'm not sure the business is done yet. It's only 350,000. It shows you the kind of budget they're operating on. Mentioned Middlesbrough's kit. This Lincoln kit is actually a new one as well. It's their third kit, a gaming-inspired third kit. Work for Ayling to do. story, like Luton and a couple of other clubs before them who were in non-league as recently as 2017. They did get to the League One playoff in 2021 as well, so they were almost there. In the final, they were beaten by Blackpool, having beaten Sunderland in the semi-final, who are now about to taste European football. Just shows what can be done.
Absolutely, not many of them are doing it on the budget that Lincoln are doing it, and in the manner that Lincoln are doing it, but I've got to say, outstanding work from them last season.
So a new signing already again from Middlesbrough, who was paraded before the game. Having signed from Spurs. They've been after another centre-half for a while. Ashley Phillips, still only 21, finished his medical this morning after his loans at Stoke City. It's a little better. Ayling joining in with Whittaker and putting it in from deep as well, spotting a run. Now, Joseph again, arguing with the referee that he was...
Yeah, it's great work from Ayling. Lovely little bounce pass. Gets it back and puts a fantastic delivery in. Joseph just blocked off. You've got to say again, good defending from Lincoln.
Luke Ayling. This place will certainly come alive if they find a way to equalise Middlesbrough, but for the moment, there's a little air of concern. Berhalter didn't expect that one, but did react just about well enough, although Lincoln are snapping into these 50-50s a lot more sharply.
And they're showing Middlesbrough absolutely no respect, and that's what you have to do once you step up to this level. You have to go out there and play your own game. You don't have time to allow players with the quality of this Middlesbrough squad time and space to pick and choose their passes.
He said they play with belief, not fear. Tom Shaw said, I wouldn't want to face us right now if I were them. The confidence gained from that win over Derby. Coursing through them, as you can tell by the performance so far. Berhalter. Neto Borges up from the back. Berhalter again, that's a difficult one, or it could have been if he had runners across the ball. He didn't.
He picks up a good pocket there, Berhalter. You can see what he's trying to do. He's just trying to guide it into that space. For any strikers getting across their man. Management team for Lincoln, they'll be delighted with so far in this opening. 28-29 minutes. In stark contrast to Kim Hellberg. This team just haven't quite been at the races yet. They haven't got into their fluent passing game that we saw last season.
That was almost another very dangerous ball. Darikwa sneaking in on the far post. McGrandles. Again, there are two in there, and Darikwa's one of them. Well, they're looking the more dangerous side. You have to say, Middlesbrough, at this rate, are not going to be welcomed off the pitch at half-time.
Well, Lincoln are just doing the simple things well. They're putting the balls in dangerous areas. They've got willing runners, and then they're getting deliveries into the box. It's not rocket science, but it's effective. And as I say, everybody knows their job. Everybody knows the way they play.
Hamer again, it's a Middlesbrough head that gets there. Oh, and a little nudge finish. Doesn't quite work out. Draper, and eventually Borodou get the foul. I think they wanted the first one, which was Britton, who ended up on the floor, I think. Or is it Berhalter? It's Berhalter over there. Bobby Badley didn't give the first one. He gave that subsequent one. There was very nearly something that looked close to a handball as well.
It'll be interesting to see this, but there is a slight push there on Berhalter. And then I think the referee gives it for that first one. But Lincoln prepared to be physical, prepared to mix it with Middlesbrough. Middlesbrough get away with one there, but Lincoln really showing what they're here for. They're here to put themselves about and really make this game uncomfortable for Middlesbrough. And up to now, they're doing it.
A little bit of respite here. Referee giving a foul. It must have been a euphoric pre-season for Lincoln, in contrast to Borough having to take stock, work out how and why. They had so many touches in the opposition box, so many chances, but unable to put them away. Berhalter's free kick, that's not even the case here. They can't even claim to have had many chances here. Lincoln have defended very, very well when they've needed to, and actually, they've probably led to less than they might have expected.
As I say, they haven't got into their rhythm as of yet. It's only the first game of the season, so they won't get too carried away, but they will know that if they want to get something out of this game, they do have to perform better, because Lincoln are at it.
Kante, good save. There was no hint of a foul, although Lincoln think there should have been. Lancashire's header. First meaningful save that Wickens has had to make. First real service that man has had.
You can see, you look at the movement from Lancashire. As soon as that ball's played backwards, he's already there. He's ready to go. There is a foul, but he's on the move. And they'll be hoping to create plenty more opportunities like that. Got to say, fantastic save from Wickens. He's not to know that the foul's been given.
Had a brilliant season last season, 19 clean sheets, the joint highest in England. Another to sign a new deal. Top 4 tiers, even 4 assists, which matched Edison's total for the most in one season by a goalkeeper in English football. So he's coming into this on a high, like many of his teammates. Middlesbrough do look like a side who have come into the game off the back of a disappointing conclusion to last season, but I can't imagine they'll escape without something of a dressing down in the dressing rooms at half-time, so we might expect to see a very different home team. Lancashire challenging, Berhalter trying to challenge as well. McGrandles gets his head on it. They could just do with spending a little bit of time inside Lincoln territory. A bit stony-faced at the moment. Well, never for too long, Kim Helbert. Usually has a smile somewhere waiting. Kante. That's better. Off target in the end from Ayling.
You can see they're dangerous from those situations. They've got some big boys in there prepared to go and put their heads on things, and they're getting first contacts in the Lincoln box. Ayling just unable to guide that one on target. I think he and Joseph might just get in each other's way.
Dorico forward, a little too much, but as we've said already, these familiar faces, these familiar patterns of play, what Lincoln were doing week in, week out in League One, which took them on that remarkable 29-match unbeaten run, which took them to the League One title, 103 points. It is worth pointing out they haven't lost a league game since the 22nd of November last year at Wycombe. So they're not familiar with losing.
Well, they have a real belief in their system.
They've gone long. It looks like it was housed
in the way that they play, a belief in each other as individuals and collectively.
Stayed onside as well. Middlesbrough's clearance again not quite good enough. Now the flag has gone up.
Well, Derek was asking the referee what he's given that for, and I must say I'm in agreement with him. But you can see, yes, they are a little bit more direct, but as soon as the ball's turned over, Derikwa and House both going and closing down. I think they might have just struck the arm from the referee.
Ten more minutes to go, and you wouldn't imagine Lincoln could have foreseen this going any...
Derikwa, accidental, yes, but would have gained an advantage from it, so that's the right decision.
Better than it has done so far, but they've still got work to do because Middlesbrough, when they do put these passes together, are looking a little bit more useful. As I say that, Whittaker has lost out. Cassadine. 2 to aim for, 3 players around him, and a 4th clears. They've defended in good numbers, but Draper's not going to get away with that one.
And again, Draper working hard, maybe just a little bit too eager to impress there. Kicks the ball away and picks up a needless yellow card, but he's looking to make life uncomfortable. Really making a nuisance of himself up there for Lincoln, and I can tell you now his teammates will be grateful for it.
First card of the new season for...
Ball for Middlesbrough and their back line. He's prepared to chase everything.
Lincoln City goes to Draper. Middlesbrough not going to get a foul. Again, he's another lighthouse. You could go through the backstory of many of these Lincoln City players around Leagues 1 and 2, and in his case in Ireland 2, and just show how far they've come and how much they believe. House is another one.
It's actually unfortunate there. Just can't get enough of their head on it. Ayling challenges and does enough.
Middlesbrough have got almost 70% of the ball so far, but here's Jeffries. They've just not done enough with it. 1 shot on target apiece. Lincoln's is the one that counts.
Yeah, you wouldn't look at this game and think that Middlesbrough have had as much possession as they actually have. They've done very little. Lincoln, a lot more direct, but again, prepared to go and press high up the pitch. House again going and making life uncomfortable. Not allowing Middlesbrough to get into their pattern of play. That was a clear message from the management team, and so far it's bearing fruit.
They pushed and pressed. The physical level needed at this championship level is going to test them, but if they can maintain this for much of the season, and that will put them in good stead. In many ways, it is potentially a good time to play one of the bigger championship sides, while they are yet to find their main top gear. Here's Joseph. Oh, it's been left all the way through, and surely they can finish. No. Nothing doing on the far post. And somehow it stays out again. Lancashire couldn't get there, and Wickens gratefully grabs it. What a chance.
I think it's Towler right at the end that just manages to get that last touch. He gets it back into Wickens' hand. What a dangerous ball that is. Must be 3 yards out. Dying for somebody in a red shirt to just get a touch on it. Guide it on target, but Lincoln get away with one there.
Absolutely. Kim Helder can't believe it stayed out. He's telling Thomas Parsons, the 4th official, what happened there? How did we not score? Well, as you say, Riley Towler was the one that got there just after McGrandles had tangled with Whittaker. Maybe that is where he feels that Middlesbrough were impeded. Didn't expect the cross to go that far.
No, I don't think anybody expected it to arrive at the far post, and the referee ends up giving a drop ball. I'm not too sure why. That was a good moment for Middlesbrough. They would have felt that those are the kinds of situations that the likes of Joseph and Lancashire have been brought in to convert, and those dangerous balls are going into the box. They need to result in goals.
They'll have a platform here. House has just been incessant. He and Draper are up there for Lincoln's man of the match at the moment. I know Reach got the goal. We haven't seen too much of the fullback, the former Middlesbrough man, since then, but seen plenty of Lincoln's management team. You've got to say, as you mentioned Draper so many times, House, Bartholomew, everybody is operating just at top speed. You've got the goalkeeping coach there, David Priest, also lending his voice to things on the touchline. They're a good trio, the coaching duo in him.
Oh, they've got some real experience there. Paul McShane, first team coach as well.
So 5 minutes to go. Lincoln free kick, guided in neatly. And it's a Middlesbrough head. They've defended the box pretty well. Jeffries to put pressure on, though. Vitek lives up to it, although that's not the delivery he was looking for. He's barely reached halfway through the half. Middlesbrough waiting for the offside flag. It doesn't come. They will get a free kick, though.
It's just poor decision-making. Vitek claims it, and then a really poor kick out just allows Lincoln to regain possession and then start another attack. It's almost been a feature of Middlesbrough's game in this first half. Some unforced errors, some poor decision-making, and ultimately it's led to them finding themselves a goal down and so far not really creating too many opportunities.
Castledine, this five-man back line, and then a really tight four just ahead of it, leaves no space for those players like Whittaker, like Castledine to operate between the lines. Kante, who started well, has faded. Middlesbrough have got a little more direct. There's another from Ayling. Nato Borges. Malanda. And again, it's not a very well-advised ball. It just comes straight back.
It's just a ball just lumped into the middle of the box. But when the ball does turn over, they get forward in numbers too.
You got Jeffries making it a 6 across that Lincoln back line. Middlesbrough, they've got to do a little bit more of this, move it a lot quicker. Kante. Bahalta. Lancashire, maybe there is a little more space out wide. Not for long because Reach has closed it down. Lancashire wins it back, Whittaker.
And really easy for the Lincoln centre-halves to be able to clear and
This is his way through. This is better. Now he goes down. Bobby Madley says no. That left arm came out. Some Middlesbrough fans were expectant. He certainly was.
I must say, on first viewing, it wasn't a penalty for me. Lancashire does well, toss it in with House. Lovely footwork from Whittaker. No foul there for me. Good upper body strength. Whittaker, you can see, clearly looking for the free kick, but the referee not moved.
So 90 seconds to go. We'll get a bit of stoppage time. We had an injury to Conor McGrandles, who, thankfully for Lincoln, shook that off fairly quickly. Middlesbrough still with around 70% of the ball there. XG, though, if that is your thing, is around about 0.2. So it just shows how little they have had the ball in what you would deem significant areas. No big chances, really, for either side. The biggest chance is the one that's gone in. Really crisp hit from Reach's left foot. I suppose Middlesbrough had that big chance at the far post, which Towler was able to get away from, but it didn't fall to a Middlesbrough player. Nato Borges, easy, once again. Too many balls like that into the box without real direction.
Yeah, well, it's one thing to spend £10 million on a striker, but the service into him has to be better. So far, it's more just hit and hope. Really poor in the final third so far, Middlesbrough. They have had one or two nil scenarios where balls have gone in across the box, but really lacked quality from a team that you would really expect to dominate this game and create plenty of opportunities up against a newly promoted team as well.
Now maybe. They're still faced with greater numbers when they attack, though. Lincoln are not committing too many of their defenders forward. Whittaker, that's neatly done. Neto Borges again, found by Joseph. Is there a way through? There is! Oh, that is a beautiful bit of goalkeeping. George Wickens sticks out a long arm and directs that one wide. Carl Joseph thought it was in.
It's the best passage of play we've seen from Middlesbrough. Some love.
At the moment, trying to see out the game until half-time. Kante. Behalter.
Lovely little passing. Good flick. Once the ball gets out wide, it's a good ball in. Thinks he scored, but Wickens, big right arm, keeps Joseph at bay.
Almost a minute in stoppage time already. It's a low one. Joseph almost takes it with him. Zariqua. I was going to say he's had a good half, but then so has everybody in Lincoln colours. You can't really look at anybody and say they haven't given everything.
Oh, well, they've been working tirelessly. Jeffrey's working that channel. Zariqua, he's been everywhere, hasn't he? Created the pass for the goal.
There's Draper, real wrestling match with Malanda, and he's gone down rather painfully. Freddie Draper.
I think it might have been the way that he landed, just on his wrist. Tussling with Malanda. Oh, he just treads on his hand. So Malanda just treads on the hand of Draper. I can tell you now, he'll shrug that off. It's a sore one, but need more than that to get him off this pitch, that's for sure.
They're being dreamland at the moment. I don't think the coaching team will let them fantasise about an opening day victory on their return to these rarefied levels, but they'll be halfway there pretty soon. Again, that's the second time in the last 2 or 3 minutes that Joseph's given away cheaply in midfield.
It's been a feature. They've given so many sloppy passes. Ayling trying to will his team forward. I've got to say, it's probably been his deliveries that have been the most productive for Middlesbrough so far.
And there's another good one for Joseph, who does rise high, and that man is not for moving. Ayling now loses that just as we've sung his praises. Jeffries makes the run. Shot goes wide. And Draper and House have just been tireless and have given Borough's defenders out. Ayling now loses that just as we've sung his praises. Jeffries makes the run. Shot goes wide. And Draper and House have just been tireless and have given Borough's defenders absolutely no break. We've had the 3 minutes. Looks like we might get a little more.
Now you can see that Lincoln have done their homework. They're getting in the faces of the Middlesbrough players who want to dwell on the ball and want to take too long, forcing them to play when they don't want to play, and when they do take that extra touch, they're just taking the ball away from them and starting their own attacks.
Ayling. There is half-time, and what a half it has been on Lincoln City's return to the second tier. They lead at the Riverside, thanks to their left-back, a former Borough player, Adam Reach, who drilled in the 12th minute of the game. They are rightly applauded off by everybody who has come up to watch this historic occasion. Middlesbrough can only get better. Infinitely more of the ball, infinitely less impact in the final third. Their big day. It's threatening to go south, unfortunately. Half-time, Middlesbrough 0, Lincoln City 1.
Compass Market, proud partner of the EFL.
The making of a new England begins here. England versus Pakistan, live on Sky Sports.
Chicken McNuggets from McDonald's. Oh, and some new Korean barbecue sauce. Let's stick to the chicken, shall we? Yeah. Okay, good. Chicken McNuggets from... Oh, he's off again. Come on, back to the chicken. Thank you. Chicken McNuggets. Oh. Chicken McNuggets. Stop. Look, just leave it there. Chicken McNuggets from McDonald's. Ah, I see what you've done.
Hey, you! Leave my dad alone. Get your kicks out of hunting older guys, do ya? And picking on black men twice as much. Better sleep with one eye open. Because now, we're all here.
Prostate cancer is the most common cancer in men. It's about time we stood together against it. Prostate Cancer UK.
Bellies, we see you battling those painful muscle cramps. Buscopan targets the cramps and starts relieving pain in 15 minutes. Buscopan, your belly pain specialist.
Oh, this is a biggie for your big shop. Aldi are which best value brand of the year? So you get great quality at Aldi prices.
Stop there. You know being a soldier is about focus, right? What you want to know is, what's in it for me? At school, I thought I was too shy to join the army. But look at me now. I'm able to talk to anyone. Even you, sir. That's what was in it for me.
Some say John Jameson didn't just create an incredibly smooth whiskey, but the world's largest family. Now, they don't share DNA, but they do share the same warm spirit. A welcoming bunch who don't take themselves too seriously. And while they've never been to Ireland, they share our smooth Irish ways. Must be part of the family. Must be a Jameson.
Compass Market, proud partner of the EFL.
Welcome back. We have a potential shock on our hands here. Lincoln City leading at half-time at the Riverside against Middlesbrough, the playoff finalists from last season, who've had 73% of the ball, but only 2 efforts on target. Lincoln scoring with theirs, their main effort on target, but they've pressed, they've harried, they've got their tactics spot on. Middlesbrough have been a little sloppy. They've not allowed them, Lincoln, to be anywhere near as progressive as they want to be. A couple of really half chances, but we can run you through the best moments from that first half in a moment or two. It was a fanfare arrival for both of the sides. And a really good start. This one just hit Draper, really, and fell for Dariqua. And his ball, and brilliantly clipped on the half volley by Adam Reach.
Yeah, it's a fantastically worked ball. Fantastically worked goal from Lincoln, and it's something that we've seen. It's a feature of their game. They'll play the ball forward, and then they get bodies up, getting deliveries into the box, and get numbers in the box. Good ball from Wickens. Draper making a nuisance of himself. But Dariqua just puts the ball into the box, and Adam Reach coming in on that left-hand side. Fantastic composure. It's a really good ball, and if he's picked him out, then it's a fantastic pick out. But how about the finish?
Middlesbrough's balls into the box have been of mixed quality. That one from Bahalter nodded into the grateful arms of Wickens, who's not had too much to do, but when he's been called on, he's been excellent. He was only called on a few times, maybe not as much as he might have expected. We've not had too much from Whittaker, not had too much from Lancashire. This from Joseph was the best run. It went all the way through to the far post where Lancashire very nearly got on it. Riley Towler got the crucial touch.
There's a number of bodies in there, wasn't there? Whittaker and Lancashire all trying to get on the end of Joseph's deflected cross into the box, and Wickens would have been nowhere near it had it have reached one of those players, but Towler does fantastic to get his body in between.
He was picked ahead of Jeremy Sarmiento, was Carl Joseph, and he was involved in this move again as well. Cut back by Neto Borges. It's a really good little finish, but Wickens again with a wonderful save.
Whereas the best passage of play from Middlesbrough in that first half. Some lovely touches. Once the ball gets out to Borges, it's a good delivery into the box. Joseph thinks he scored. Wickens has got different ideas.
So halfway towards a real shock on the opening day. Bolton, who have just come back to the Championship, have already caught something of a shock, beating Preston by 2-1. Josh Coburn has scored away at Bristol City. Michael Scabala's first league game in charge, not going away he would have wanted. Derby also leading away from home, as are Queen's Park Rangers convincingly on the south coast. And it is Stoke 1, Swansea 1. Sheffield United Birmingham is the big game at 5:30. Second half to come. We'll be back very shortly to see if Middlesbrough can improve in the second half.
Compass Market, proud partner of the EFL.
Game's gone.
Hey, you! Leave my dad alone. Get your kicks out of hunting older guys, do ya? And picking on black men twice as much. Better sleep with one eye open. Because now, we're all here.
Prostate cancer is the most common cancer in men. It's about time we stood together against it. Prostate Cancer UK.
Give love to your dog every day. An Advantage Chewable every month.
Milo!
One tasty Advantage Chewable tablet eliminates fleas and ticks for a whole month. Advantage Chewable. Easy to love, easy to protect.
Advantage Chewable.
Maybe it's time for something new. What do you think?
With Amazon, you get £3,000 every year towards career growth. It's more than just choosing a job. It opens the door to entirely new careers, creating opportunities at Amazon across the UK.
I think I'm going to train as an engineer.
Oh, this is a biggie for your big shop. Aldi are which best value brand of the year? So you get great quality at Aldi prices.
I think I missed a spot.
Where?
Somewhere, I don't know. The gums?
No stress. Listerine delivers 5 times more cleaning power. It even works below the gum line.
I just don't bend that way.
Get 5 times more cleaning power with Listerine.
Oh, new Listerine options.
Now in a range from extra mild to intense.
Listerine. Wash your mouth.
Anyone else think this ratio's a bit off here? Yeah, that's not exactly what I meant.
I will see you tomorrow.
3-0.
3-1. 1 LA.
The biggest important game.
We back the things we believe in. Sage, supporting the businesses behind the badge.
Ah, football's back. Time to put on our Sunday best. Get our face on. Treat ourselves to a bit of fine dining. Travel in style. Maybe even have a dance. Because when football's back, so are we. Join us for 1,500 matches. Sky Sports. Welcome to the show.
Compass Market, proud partner of the EFL.
All right, Sergey, usual.
Yes, please.
Well, not at all. The occasion that the home fans have turned out to see, so far, they have flattered to deceive when it comes to going forward. They've actually defended balls into their box pretty well. The one time they didn't, Lincoln City took advantage early in the first half, and it is the visitors, the newcomers to the Championship, who are ahead on the opening day of the EFL season. A day when Middlesbrough wanted to dream again after the disappointment of the playoff final defeat to Hull City, to go again after some decent business, some money in the bank from Hayden Hackney, from Morgan Rogers' transfer from the sell-on clause. They actually got more from that than they did by selling him. So they are a club, hopefully for their fans, on the up, but it's the Lincoln fans who have made the journey north, who are in dreamland, really. It has been a brilliant first half for them. They've executed everything just about perfectly. And you'd imagine, Aaron, that Tom Shaw and Chris Cohen, that managerial duo, will be absolutely delighted, as well as you mentioned, Paul McShane, who you know in that dressing room at half-time.
Well, I think they'll be delighted, but I don't think they'll be surprised. You don't get 103 points and win the league in the manner that they did last season if you're not a good team. And what they've done is they've just continued the good work from last season. Never approached this game in exactly the manner that they would have hoped. They've played on the front foot. They've been direct, but with a purpose. And they've really put those Middlesbrough players under pressure. And like anything, if you put players under pressure, even good players, they will make mistakes. And Draper and House, especially the top end of the pitch for Lincoln, have been a real handful. And not allowed Malanda and Alien and the rest of that back line a moment's peace. And they've got another 45 minutes plus to continue that good work. And if they're able to do that, they have a really good chance of walking away from Riverside with some points.
They brought just over 2,000, around 2,200, who have come to see a moment of history for them. Not many would have been around the last time they were playing in the second tier, in the 1960-61 season, which was the last time these two sides met. Lincoln winning 5-2 at theirs after a 1-1 draw at Ayresome Park. Borough's last win in October 1959. Again, not too many of their fans would have seen that. His goal, a former Middlesbrough man. He's had a long and varied career. Adam Reach, Sheffield Wednesday, West Brom, Wickham as well, almost around 500 career appearances now. And this would be a highlight, I'd imagine. But they've got to go again. They've got to do exactly what they did over the course of the first 45, knowing that Middlesbrough will have to be much better as an attacking force. Looking at their bench, Riley McGree's back and fit. I'm not sure if he's ready for a full half. Miles Pitt-Harris, the new signing. Jeremy Sarmiento, who missed out to Joseph on this one. The youngsters, the start of their careers, that's been Cartwright. So I wonder if he will make any changes from the start. It doesn't look like it from the lineup that we see here. Joseph was lively, wasn't he, on occasions, but then suffered from the same kind of sloppiness and giving the ball away that many of them did, and Lancashire just didn't have the service.
Yeah, well, I think that it was contagious, wasn't it? The sloppiness in the Middlesbrough ranks. Far too many people, misplaced passes and passing the ball off the pitch. I think that man's been the standout player for Middlesbrough. Looking to step out from the back. And we know from his playing career as a right wing back. And once he does get into that final third, he's got quality in his boots to put deliveries into the box for the likes of Lancashire and for Joseph.
It'll be Lincoln to roll the ball back. It'll be Lincoln City, who are leading here at the Riverside, to get the second half underway. 45 minutes from arriving with a bang. They certainly treated the first half like it was theirs to own. The belief, the lack of fear, taking the game off the ball to Middlesbrough. Just really, really impressive. They were off the ball more than they were on it, a lot more. But they used the ball better and more directly when they did have it.
Well, what they've done really well is they're in control of the game even when they're out of possession. It takes a lot of hard work to do that. It takes organisation, it takes desire and work rate, but all of those things were in play in that first half, and they now have to replicate that again for this second half.
Here's Draper, one of those heroes who chased everything down. Hasn't won a free kick. Lincoln again have Preston tried to win it back. Berhalter. Middlesbrough's midfielders have got to be precise in those tight situations, because every time they get the ball and try and build something, they find 2, maybe 3 Lincoln City players right in their faces.
And when you make the step up into the Championship, you have to be prepared to run and chase, especially when you are that lesser team. And that's no disrespect to Lincoln, but there's some big clubs and some very good players at this level, and the way to level it out is to give everything, to work hard. That man House, the amount of times that he's gone and closed down and got on the end of things, they're going to need to do that every minute of every game. If they are able to, they stand a really good chance of staying in this division.
I'm sure he would have had plenty to say in his own way, Kim Halbert, just to try and convince Middlesbrough that they are the ones who should be bossing this game. But increasingly, it seems Lincoln are not prepared to listen to that kind of attitude, and they're just going to carry on playing their own way. 2 minutes in. Middlesbrough have got to move it quickly. They've got to find a way of using the tight spaces and using those balls, and maybe Lancashire can. Good save from Wickens again. It was a comfortable height. Took it early. Probably had to do. Not much choice there for Lancashire.
It's a good ball. Just played down the outside, and good movement from Lancashire. Probably strikes it a nice height for Wickens to be able to dive to his right and save, but it's a warning.
Helped in by Berhalter. Again, it's Lincoln and Draper that win the ball. He would have been allowed to stand. He's hit it as if he's just hitting one wide that wouldn't have counted. This one would.
Yeah, that's a ball. It's a lovely angled ball. Just curls into...
Nato Borges, there's a good delivery, Lancashire. Well, I think he's been allowed.
Lancashire, he's under pressure. Towler and Derek all trying to put their bodies in front of the ball, put Lancashire under pressure. Still gets his strike away, but not good enough to beat Wickens.
That one has stayed in. Middlesbrough's a Brazilian left-back pops it out. Britain forward. Berhalter. Joseph hugging the left-hand side. Kante, Berhalter. Not a partnership Middlesbrough have used before, but one they'll have to get used to while Aidan Morris is recovering. Kante again. And Berhalter through the legs for Ayling, who is travelling down the right-hand side. The deflection might favour them here because it's reached Britton, who tosses it back in. That is where the likes of Hamer have got to be strong, and he was. Darikwa sells Lancashire.
Yeah, it's good defending from Lincoln. Middlesbrough starting to get a bit of possession.
Whittaker moves it on, and There's Hamer coming across again.
Yeah, exactly what they'd want. That man starting to grow into the game. Lancashire always looking to be on the end of things. No ball around the corner from Castledine. He is taken down, but the referee plays the advantage. Lancashire looking to get his strike. He is blocked. He's a man that, if he does see the wires of the post, will let fly, and we've already seen the quality that he possesses. It's fantastic last season for Oxford United.
He said he'd learned as much in a week with Kim Halbert as in his whole previous career, which is certainly high praise. He's now just waiting to have a little dart. He's running around the back here. Whittaker to deliver and trying to go for goal, actually. Trying to catch out George Wickens. Not many have been able to do that.
He's got the ability. Whittaker, fantastic left foot. Just can't guide it on target. You can see he's just trying to swing it into that near post. That ball angling out to win. Just doesn't get enough curl on it. Had a difficult start to his Middlesbrough career, but was in fine form at the second half of the season.
Here come Lincoln again. Hamer is up there. Well, you know, when your centre-half is sprinting forward to get an end of balls like that, and you know they're full of confidence.
Oh, they've got so much belief. Hamer gets himself in the box along with House. And he's got the ability. Whittaker, fantastic left foot. That near post. That ball angling out to win. Just doesn't get enough curl on it. Had a difficult start to his Middlesbrough career, but was in fine form at the second half of the season.
You know, when your centre-half is sprinting forward to get an end of balls like that, and you know they're full of confidence.
Oh, they've got so much belief. Hamer gets himself in the box along with House. Gets first contact on it, just can't get up and over it enough to be able to guide it on target. Gets above Ayling.
It's a little better. Conte. Halter, Whittaker. And that's drawn players in and left a little bit of space. The deflection might have taken it through and given Wickens trouble. It didn't in the end.
Well, when Middlesbrough moved the ball quicker with a purpose, they look a lot better. Oh, and then a far throw. And the referee having none of it. Halter, that should be a fine. There's absolutely no way that you should be doing foul throws in it. As a professional footballer, glad to say I never did one.
It's drilled into you in grassroots football, hasn't it?
The gap's just starting to open up a little bit now for Middlesbrough. It's now whether or not they can start to use this, use the possession that they've had.
It's a little bit more of a more comfortable start from Middlesbrough. Lincoln has shown that in the blink of an eye they can motor forward. Whittaker, who scored 3 of the last 6 goals here, got a double against Watford in that big win at the end of last season, and the winner against Sheffield Wednesday. He's been better so far in the second half, but they're going to have to build up again here, and that allows Lincoln to come out a little bit. Another for Coburn at Bristol City, and Michael Skubala's opening game. Who's the new head coach? It's not going very, very well. Berhalter pops that one through.
Middlesbrough going to have to get used to life without Hayden Hackney. He was so influential for them last season. Obviously, he's moved on to the Premier League and Everton, but it was very much that link. Questions that are going to be posed. Who's going to be the one to take this game by the scruff of the neck, to take their season by the scruff of the neck and drive them forward as Hayden Hackman between midfield and attack? They're going to have to find other answers to the question he did so many times last season.
Only Lancashire in the box. Away before it reached him. Here is Whittaker again. More space out there, lots of red shirts forward. Joseph trying to turn it back to Whittaker. It's coolness personified from McGrandles there. As Lincoln look to play their way out, and they'll get the chance to have a set piece and do so. 10 minutes in, and they don't look like they've been knocked out of their stride.
Yeah, McGrandles just needs to relax a little bit on the ball. Composure, very impressive. Doesn't panic under pressure. He even picks out the pass afterwards. Outstanding.
Nutmegging a winger in your own box, that is high confidence.
I can tell you now, if I was in that situation, I would have been just hoofing it out of play, so full credit.
We are going to see changes as Draper puts the pressure on Malander again. Rob Street is waiting to come on. Be a double switch by the looks of it.
Draper's been a real handful. Some of those force Middlesbrough to just kick it out of play. Allows him to get his team up the pitch.
Hamer's long throws have been trod.
Ball's just played in behind the Middlesbrough back line. Draper using his physicality to either get on the end of it or...
That's another one, but it's too close to Nanto Borges to trouble Middlesbrough a little more centrally. Bartholomew, Hamer, advantage goes Lincoln's way. Towler goes down. They haven't used the advantage in the end.
And the referee put his whistle to his lips as if he was going to blow, but decided he'd played too long of the advantage. I must say, I don't think Lincoln gained much of an advantage from that passage and would have probably rathered the free kick.
Advantage after Towler slid in. He might get a talking to when it's players stopped. He won't actually.
Yeah, exactly what I just said about Lincoln. I think Middlesbrough are feeling exactly the same.
As Ayling losing his body, Draper went to ground.
That's competitive. Referees allowing things to go now. I will say it's the same for both sides, so you can't complain.
Berhalter was looking for an incisive ball. Instead, he's given it away, but Lincoln have got too few numbers up here. Rich will have to wait, and does. McGrandles for Bartholomew.
One thing you will say is Lincoln don't quite possess that blistering pace at the top end of the pitch.
As House stayed on side, it didn't look like it, and the decision is no. So maybe we'll see the two changes now.
Yeah, House just strays offside, didn't need to. You can see where he wants to get, just a step offside.
So, Street for Draper, straight switch up top. And Isaac Olafay. is going to replace Jeffries on the right-hand side. So Street, who scored their final league goal of last year, the second in their 2-0 win over Port Vale, is on. He'll have been frustrated not to start, so he's got more than half an hour to make his mark. Draper has emptied the tank completely with a really good display. Those two changes will be designed to just keep that momentum up, keep that pressure up. Street, a regular. Olafe, season loan with an option to buy him from Charlton and a chance to make his mark. Britton, that is good. Slid it through to Whittaker. That is equally good. Foot in from El Arawi.
And those are the little balls they need to be playing. Whittaker finds himself in a lovely little bit of space. Good reverse pass. Again, well defended from Lincoln, but better from Middlesbrough, more purposeful.
And now gone. Behalter wants a certain kind of movement ahead of him. Joseph makes the dart. It's over him. And House puts his head on it. And now the substitute, and Darikwa can break forward. He couldn't move it towards him, Darikwa, to the other side of the pitch. House has done brilliantly again to get back and put his body in the way.
I was just about to say, House has been everywhere, competing for things, winning his aerial battles as well. It's been a real good performance from him. We spoke about what a goal threat he can be, but his work rate and desire definitely can't be questioned.
Malonda for Neto Borges. Middlesbrough still dominating. If anything, they've got more on average at the moment, 76% of it. Here's Britton. Britton with a teasing ball, and the finish, he's in, deflected and through, and Middlesbrough have finally found their equaliser. Castledine hit it. It needed help to get through, and Middlesbrough have the help they need. It is 1-1.
Now, I'm just looking and thinking, is it Lancashire that just gets that touch? Castledine with a good strike, but I think Lancashire's just in the right place at the right time. He is. Just guides it on target. Couldn't miss from there, but that's what he's been brought in to do. Ball's flashed across, and that man there gets his second goal for Middlesbrough. First in the league. That's the difference. When you spend the money, those strikers just know where to be and when to be there.
He delivered their only goal against Wrexham. He has delivered here. And it needed it. It was getting to the point where Middlesbrough were starting to really worry, and the fans were too. A double switch. Miles Pitt-Harris is on for a debut in the EFL for Middlesbrough. And Riley McGree back from injury. And back to help out. Fit enough for the last half hour or so. Missed the World Cup with his hamstring injury in the playoff final. A difficult summer for him. Lancashire confirmed. Up and running in the Championship.
Now you'd expect Middlesbrough to really kick on now. Use the momentum they've gained from that goal. This is a game that they'll be wanting to win at home in front of their home fans. Their home form's going to be so important, as it was last season.
Well, they waited a long time to be able to celebrate something. Now they can. Even a draw, though, Lincoln would have probably taken before the game. Doesn't take away from how well they've acquitted themselves so far. Confirmation that It is Cassadine and Kante as Olofo pops one wide. The whistle had gone anyway.
Yeah, it's going to be important that they can recover. The last thing you want is to allow Middlesbrough to get their tails up now and start putting deliveries into the box. As we've already seen, Will Lancashire waiting to profit from those kinds of situations. And Lincoln have done very well so far. You want to make sure that your hard work counts for something and you come away with even a point. A point against Middlesbrough will be a great point.
Just as you saw there, this man on the ball, we've seen a change at left back with new signing Max Austin coming on. Many thought he would actually start this one. Bahalta, his international teammate for the USA. There's a neat one for Britain. Now it's Middlesbrough have got the spring in their step.
That goal was definitely sparked some life into Middlesbrough. Now on the front foot. And the team smashing into challenges and coming out on the end of them. It's going to be an important finish to this game for Lincoln. Can they hang on? Can they keep playing the way that they have done for 65 minutes and have given a great account of themselves up until now?
Here they go again, House. Olofo is waiting, so too numbers at the far post. In the end, they waited too long to put it in. And Middlesbrough had numbers back. McGrandles is here. Olofo's waiting in the centre. Olofo's waiting in the centre. Tarikwa couldn't pop it in. Can they keep those energy levels up? We're about 3/4 of the way through the game. House will be probably blowing a little bit now. He has been everywhere.
The Middlesbrough fans are very much in full voice now. They can sense something. The players are feeding from that energy. And now this controlled possession. They'll be hoping to create a few more opportunities for their strike force.
McGree gives a wry smile. This is where Kim Helbert's double training sessions will kick in. Working them hard in pre-season to make sure they've got the legs in the closing stages of games like this. Match fitness still to come, of course, build up over time, but for the moment, they've got to maintain this sense of urgency because Lincoln too are looking like making further changes.
The spaces are just starting to open up now. Middlesbrough are able to show that passing fluency that we've become accustomed to. Moving the ball really well.
Whittaker picking it up deep and taking one on. And you can't fault him too much. George Wickens has barely put a foot wrong.
Yeah, good save from Wickens, but again, Middlesbrough just now starting to get into their groove. Whittaker with a strike. Doesn't catch it as cleanly as he would have liked, but it's another sighter at goal.
McGree, who can exploit the kind of spaces that will and are. Open up, Ayling. Licence to move a little bit further. Britton with Bahalta providing the overlap. Oh, he's just got a run on House here, Callum Britton. Trying to get back where two were waiting. Clearance only as far as Bahalta. That's a nice weighted cross for Joseph. Lancashire. Austin. McGree wins a corner. And at the moment, this is where the game is being played.
Yeah, Middlesbrough really starting to crank up the heat now. Lincoln just having to hold on, get bodies back and defend resolutely. They have done so far, but you can just sense that Middlesbrough can smell something. They can smell a victory here.
Sebastian Berhalter, just shy of the last 20 minutes, hangs one up. And there's a speculative attempt, which very nearly came off for the new man, Piet Harris. Austin did well to get that one back. Is there a bit of space here? Well, the free kick's gone the other way. There was a charge on Alafe, but it's gone for Austin rather than for Lincoln's new striker. And we're going to see Rico Hackett. First, though, we're going to have a Middlesbrough change. Jeremy Sarmiento, direct swap with Carl Joseph, who made his EFL debut for them. Sarmiento coming on, and as we predicted, House, who has been excellent so far, has emptied the tank too, like Draper. He is replaced by Rico Hackett. Another who signed a new deal over the course of the closed season. Another who has contributed excellently, over 100 appearances since he joined 3 years ago.
And they've brought quality onto the pitch. Hackett, 11 goals last season and some excellent performances. And you'll be hoping that he can get a sighted goal between now and the end of the game. Could he be the difference maker?
Sarmiento will be keen to make an impression too and decide that it should be him rather than Joseph, who starts on that left-hand side. It'll be a good battle between those two. It's a good battle, Dorico winning it out, but nobody for Lincoln is up there at the moment. That's where Draper and House would have been, isn't it?
No, they're having to do a lot of defending now, Lincoln. They can feel that Middlesbrough in total control of this game. Moving the ball well, finding little pockets of space. So now Middlesbrough putting Lincoln under real pressure in that attacking.
Overwhelmingly in their favour. It has been around the 70% mark for much of the game. Since Middlesbrough scored, it's even higher. Not the best kind of clearance, almost fell for Britain, foot in from reach. Those are the balls that Lincoln are playing now.
He just looks a little bit isolated up there, doesn't he, for Lincoln at the moment? Not being able to fluently now. Real spring in their step.
Sarmiento, lively, as you would expect, trying to make a point.
Release the pressure. On the flip side, Middlesbrough moving the ball. He's lively. Somebody I thought he would have started the game. Great talent and eager to get into this game.
Says he very much feels at home here now. He's been loaned out so many times. Now he's a permanent member of Middlesbrough's squad. He can really start to put down some roots.
He drives forward so well with the ball, doesn't he? So fluent in possession. Great delivery on the ball. And he'll be hoping that he can really make a mark.
Reach threat of the Lincoln party early in the game. Half-time, even a draw would be an excellent result here on the opening day. Up on Teesside. A result to take with them as they prepare this coming week for a first home game in the Championship against Portsmouth. And their reward for beating Derby is a trip to Blackpool in the League Cup. Sarmiento just left it behind. It actually helped him in the end. Whittaker gives it back. Middlesbrough dictating things. Malanda. Sarmiento for Whittaker. Not the best of clearances.
There's so many rotations now for Middlesbrough. Lots of movement off the ball.
Ayling. Just glanced wide. Couldn't rise high enough in the end to direct that one on goal. But if anybody's going to score next, you would think it would be Middlesbrough.
Again, it's another good ball in from Luke Ayling. Whittaker just can't guide it. Should do better. There's a free header and has a good look at it. Just mistimes his jump. Lincoln have put everything into this game so far. 15 minutes plus. Injury time to hang on. Come away from the Riverside with something. You can just sense around the place now. Middlesbrough determined to go on now, put their foot on the gas and try and take this game away from Lincoln.
So piece opportunity, and one of the first chances they've had in a while to get players forward, to relieve a little bit of the pressure, to play a bit more of the game in Middlesbrough territory. Streeton, Alafe to aim for. Sarmiento is the furthest forward. Laraway, who's the one on the edge of the box. Confidently juggled away by Middlesbrough. Lecture on the other side. He's the only one on the other side, and that ball has gone behind everybody. Just takes the momentum out of the attack completely.
Yeah, it's a poor pass from Whittaker, but Sarmiento has definitely added some energy into this Middlesbrough side. Looks bright, looks lively.
Behalter for Britton, for Ayling. Miles Peart-Harris has it. Goes again, Street. And he's using his energy to do some defending at the moment. Britain here. Now they've got options. Three on the far side, that's where he's aiming. Behalter, that's better. They've drawn a lot of players in. Behalter could find... through that little gap invitingly for Ayling. Well, they'll be hugely frustrated, Middlesbrough, if they don't pick up all 3 points here.
And the gaps are opening up now in that Lincoln defence, and the speed that Middlesbrough are moving the ball and runs off of the ball. Lincoln just need to stay concentrated, stay focused, stick to their task. It's difficult against the quality of opposition they're facing, but they're going to come up against this week in, week out.
Middlesbrough probing, patient, Ayling, Whittaker. Those little balls around the corner could be crucial. So too could the concentration from Lincoln at the back, and that is well seen out by Alaraway.
Man, it seems like a wasted opportunity for me. It's a lovely little ball through Burr Harris, and you're saying to Whittaker, just hit it. Just take your shot on. And instead he wants to try and let it run, and Alaraway just guides it. Eases him out in the end, but it's an opportunity there for Whittaker. He needed to pull the trigger earlier.
They turned that around. The shot count very much in their favour. They have started to make what they have of the ball, their possession, their territorial advantage count when it comes to stats like that. That said, they've still only managed one goal with it, and that will be far from ideal in the mind of their coach. More goals going in. Late one for West Brom. Up in Norfolk. Another side who'd be expected to make that top 8. Norwich City. And West Brom hoping, like the likes of Blackburn, to do much better than last season. Oh, lovely ball for Britain. But again, Alaraway had read that one. I mean, in many ways, regardless of how this turns out for Lincoln City, how much will this game have taught them? To go toe-to-toe with Middlesbrough, to hold them for 80 minutes, it's got to give them lots of confidence for the rest of the season.
And it will, but what I will say is that when you play as well as Lincoln have in this game, you want to come out of it with something. You want your hard work to mean something. I remember being in the Championship with Peterborough United, and week after week our performances would have been good, and teams complimenting us on how well we've played, but we've lost the game. You want to make sure that it counts for something at the end, and the hard work that Lincoln have put in this game so far, it deserves something.
Ayling got away with one there, 10 minutes to go. And a little tug on the shirt of Olafe as well, just to make sure that he was not going to get on the end of that ball. Last thing Middlesbrough want to do, having dominated for much of this second half, is then hand the advantage back to Lincoln, who have defended doggedly. Oh, that one moment where Lancashire was able to tap in Castledine's shot. Clever from Sarmiento, who has resolutely stayed out wide on that left-hand side, looking to stretch the game. Setting up Rob Street. They just can't get out, Lincoln, at the moment. Everybody back defending. They are shutting things down pretty well.
They would have prepared for this. They would have known that there's going to be periods in the game that Middlesbrough are going to be totally on top, going to be dominant, and they have to be resolute, organised. And full credit to them. They've stood up to the challenge so far.
You can see the likes of Darikwa and Hamer just pointing, organising, cajoling along, holding that line, moving. So far it's working, but you can see how much of the second half has been played in those threatening areas.
Well, Middlesbrough needed to improve on their first half performance, and they have. They've got themselves the equaliser. They are dominant in this game, but Lincoln not prepared to lay down and just give Middlesbrough the points. They're prepared to fight.
Well, that'll be invaluable, Alaraway pinning Britain back, and that means that finally they can get up the pitch a little bit. Get their players like Farfalomaev. McGrandles involved a little more. Hamer can come up and toss one of those long throws in. Middlesbrough are not out of the woods yet when it comes to having to defend against Lincoln City attacks, even if there have been very few of them so far in this half. That's nicely done. McGrandles is loving it. Really tidy ball too. Nodded down and in! That is incredible! Oh, the flag is up. It's not going to count. Olafe thought he had a debut goal. It was snatched away in seconds. And Middlesbrough are sniffing something at the other end. Well, the fans are going through a roller coaster of emotions here, and so too are Lincoln City's players.
Oh, well, it's so unfortunate. And that man's so unfortunate. As well worked. The Granville's lovely footwork. Composure personified. In the back of the net, but unfortunately for Lincoln, he won't count. Puts a good delivery in. You can just see Olafe just straight offside. Brilliant header to put it.
Well, there's a big warning for Middlesbrough in big, huge letters. I mean, they couldn't have been much more dominant since scoring the equalising goal, and suddenly Lincoln out of nowhere have got something. Can Middlesbrough get something? There's a really crucial interception, and now maybe the chase is on here. Malanda has got to keep Olafe quiet. He's on his own, so he's got to do much of this himself. Finally, there is support. And he's done well. He's away from Malanda. He did about as well as he could.
Yeah, he does brilliant. He's got two players around him and little to no support. Tries to hold it up for as long as he can and then just looking to flash it into the box, hoping that one of his teammates has joined him. Hold it up for as long as he can and then just looking to flash it into the box, hoping that one of his teammates has joined him.
It all stemmed from Alaraway getting them up the pitch, pinning Borough back a little bit. This man couldn't get out Britton. Now he's furthest forward, but the cross is a disappointing one. Middlesbrough back to pressing. Berhalter. Lincoln back to defending. There's what to take the wind out of you. Britton is away from reach here. Cut back, looking for Riley McGree. Berhalter. They've really got to be 100% switched on all the time, Lincoln City. They're not getting the moments they were hoping for. And Berhalter's crosses are really teasing ones. 5 minutes to go. We could have ourselves a grandstand finish at the Riverside yet.
Now Lincoln players putting their bodies on the line, having to get in front of shots. There'll be some walking wounded at the end of this, but I'll tell you what, it'll be worth it if they can come away from the Riverside with a point. Middlesbrough eager to make sure that they don't.
Ayling teasing one in. It's too high for Lancashire, but there were no chances taken at the far post. Sarmiento scampers over to take the corner as quickly as he can.
Oh, Ayling holding his head because he knows that Lancashire just found a few yards of space. The cross just wasn't the quality that was needed for him to be able to get a header on goal. They have got themselves a corner.
In the end, Sarmiento's going to leave it for the man who's taken them for much of the game, Sebastian Berhalter. His delivery is a good one. Lancashire scoops one off the upright and then over from Peart Harris. Could have been the debut hero. In the end, it's over the top. That ball just hung in the air a lifetime.
Lancashire thinks that he's scored. Good little bit of footwork and just manages to dig out a shot. When it comes to Peart Harris, he's got to do better. He's got to hit the target. He's 6 yards out and it's a difficult skill to be able to get your foot up and over it, but there's a big opportunity and that could have been the deciding moment. That could have got Middlesbrough all 3 points.
McGree, they have been in a game and they will know it. Alaraway bundled out of the way. And Lancashire unstopped in his tracks. The whistle had already gone. It was Darikwa taking no prisoners as he came through.
Again, dangerous ball in behind Lancashire. Just pulls Alaraway down. Darikwa's there looking to try and block if necessary, but Lancashire wants to be that match winner.
Well, it's going to be a breathless last 10 minutes or so. We might yet have a good 5 minutes of stoppage time. We're going to get further changes here for Lincoln City to make sure everybody possible experiences the championship. New Romanian defender Andre Kubis and Tom Bayliss both coming on.
I spoke to Paul McShane about Kublis. He described him as a monster.
They're going to need somebody to just help shore things up. Although there are the odd threats like this one that suggest maybe there might be one more chance in the offing if Lincoln believe, as they have all game. McGrandles to the far post. There's the knockdown. Helaroe is still in there. Lafay is still in there. Middlesbrough not entirely convincing. Switch to the far side, and the groans as the possession is conceded easily and cheaply.
Oh, they've worked their way out really well. And in with the cross-field pass, but a loose pass just halts their attack.
A minute of normal time to go, and a yellow card coming. And he got the ball, but he certainly got a lot of his opponent too.
It's about concentration now for Lincoln. Make sure that you clear your lines, you defend properly. We've worked so hard to try and get something out of this game. It'd be such a shame if they were to concede so late on. This is the championship. You know how vital, how crucial late goals are.
Grio's done really well. Can he set something up? He has! Into the near post as the 90 comes round. It's Lancashire again at the double. Breaking Lincoln City hearts in the cruelest way, but delighting Middlesbrough on his league debut for them. They know they've been in a game, but they've gone and snatched it.
Oh, it's fantastic work from McGree out on the right-hand side. Looks as if he's going to pass it back, but just wriggles away, and once he gets away from his man, can you pick out your striker? There's a fantastic run to the near post by Lancashire. Again, that's what your top strikers do. They find the space, and then he just guides it. Difficult for him to miss, but what work from McGree. And Lancashire at the right place, at the right time. And looks like he has got the winning goal. It will secure Middlesbrough all 3 points. Kim Hellberg absolutely delighted.
That's what the money gets you. They've been waiting to make these changes. The man who gave them hope, the former Middlesbrough man, Reach, is off. And Bayliss, who did play in the Championship for Preston earlier in his career, gets another taste of it. And we're going to see another new signing too. The skipper is coming off. He's handing the armband to the new man. I don't think he's going to take it. Andrei Kubis, a Romanian international, the club record signing from Cluj on a 5-year deal. A player who came through AC Milan's academy. He's cast around for options, and it's going on his own arm. Alfie Jones is back, the Canadian, from his injury, and he's come on for Morgan Whittaker. That's eaten up another minute or so we might get an extra on the end of the 3, but heartbreaking for Lincoln City, who have come and given such a good account of themselves. They'll have learned a lot. They'll have, despite the seemingly impending defeat, picked up plenty in the way of confidence that they can really push a side like Middlesbrough all the way. But, as you said earlier, it still doesn't affect the fact that they were about to get something here.
It's those moments of quality. McGree provided it. Come off the bench and freshness, a little bit of ingenuity, wriggle away from his man, and then a little bit of quality to pick out his striker.
Here's Hamer to launch one. Who's to say something might not happen here? Miles Pert-Harris away. It's that international quality. You bring an experienced Australian international off the bench. You've got Radek Vitek that you can buy from Manchester United in goal, who hasn't been extended into too many saves, to be honest, as well as Lincoln have played. There's the 3 minutes up. Kubis has popped that one back. Wickens just has to deliver.
I've got to say, Wickens' performance has been excellent. Doesn't deserve to be on the losing side.
In the end, they look like having about 77% of the ball and more than double the amount of shots, but it didn't look that way at half-time as Lincoln looked to be causing a giant shot on their return. Hackett goes to Riley Towler from Hackett. It has to go forward, though. We've almost played that extra minute. Ofolomayev. Now Middlesbrough maybe can break. Could they seal the deal with a third? It is 3-on-2 at the moment. McGree fancies one himself. Bayless shuts the door. And now Lincoln could send it down the other end for Hackett. He doesn't have anybody close by to direct it to. Home fans praying for the final whistle, and the final whistle is greeted with the biggest cheer of the afternoon. Middlesbrough have got themselves out of jail, and they have beaten Lincoln by 2-1 right at the death. Will Lancashire has plenty to celebrate on his league debut. He scored the winner against Wrexham. He's got all 3 of their goals in the first 2 games of the new season. Money well spent for a team that didn't score enough from what they made last season. Lincoln City, despite the defeat, on their return to second-tier football after 65 years, have given an incredibly good account of themselves and what they stand for as a club. They will have better, more successful days to come, but their fans will remember the display they have given. It was tight. It was nervy. We had the grandstand finish, and it is Middlesbrough who have taken it by 2-1. Well, we got the full range of emotions there. We got a Middlesbrough in the last 20 minutes or half an hour that was unrecognisable from the first half.
Yeah, well, it wasn't the greatest performance from Middlesbrough. A lot of possession, but in that first half, a lot of wasted possession. The main thing is that they've got the 3 points and they've got the job done. A man will be delighted. They've shown great character. And it's going to take a few weeks to get up to full speed and for some of those players to get match fit. And what's important is that if you're Middlesbrough, you make sure that you're winning games whilst you're getting your fitness. From a Lincoln perspective, they can go away and they can take so much from this game. They'll have better days. They've worked tirelessly, given a great account of themselves, but just fallen short of the final hurdle. And as you say, it's those moments of